Alright, so we got the UGA Season 2 champion here. And with me is Hawkeyeben.
Hey, how's it going? The VBL Season 3 champion, VBLS, VBLM. Yeah, we're here today to do some tier lists and see what we think of all the teams that are in UGA 3.
Yep, and the first team is the Great British Blastoises, Hawkeyeben's team. So
Yeah,
let's
let it rip.
look at the team. Well, I wanted to ask you your initial thoughts about your own team before I get into it, if you want to share.
Yeah, I can say some stuff. So it's a bit weird, the team that I've got. Usually I go for I like to hit the 120 on the base speed, at least, and I don't have that. So I've got like a bulkier team than I normally do, with a lot more the mid-tier ones, because I don't even have like that much of a slow team either, because my slowest one's 35, when normally I get something that's less than 30, because then you can do Iron Ball. So it's new grounds for me. But it's got everything else that I'd have on the team. Like a lot of the mons have more than one use. Like it's not just an attacker, or a support mon. Like it's pretty versatile with the mons. So I like that part of it, and I think versatility is the key to draft. But I built this team around Blastoise and Cobalion because they were the two ones that I wanted to use after UGA Season 2 finished. It's been a long time since I used my mascot, and Cobalion just seems like a cool pick. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that
fair enough.
I think the biggest weakness of the team is making sure I've got enough like firepower. Like some of my a lot of my mons don't have that high of an attack stat, so I think.
Yeah, I see that.
I gotta get
a lot of your mons require like some sort of setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like Blastoise with Shell Smash or Cobalion with Beat Up.
Yeah, exactly. But the team's got a lot of ways to proc stuff.
Yeah, I mean Sneasel is a great weakness policy procer.
Yeah, Sneasel. I mean, Sneasel just. I think it was probably one of my favorite ones that came out of UGA 2.
It's so good, and it's so annoying to fight against.
Yeah, and what I found with like last season was that you don't need to just use Focus Sash. Like I think only half the time I brought it with Focus Sash in Season 2. So, it's something you got to watch out for, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't need Sash most of the time because it's going first anyways.
It's going first anyways, and sometimes you just want it off the field.
Yeah.
I found like sometimes you just wanted it to do something. It's got you at an advantage.
Like if you're targeting an fully evolved mon before like the bigger threat,
mm-hmm.
then I guess your team's doing so. I mean to say that like Sneasel's doing something right if the enemy wants to target it over the Dynamax mon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's a big threat. But yeah, I'm more interested to hear what you've got to say about my team.
This team is like super bulky. It's got a, like I said earlier, it's got a lot of like setup offense. But I see like some fast explosive mons like Sigilyph and it doesn't have to max to do offense with those thunders.
Yeah, because of compound ice.
Yep. Trampa's always great. It doesn't really need it doesn't need like a weakness policy or anything. It doesn't need a setup because of Berserk, and it's got really good coverage.
Mhm.
Mimikyu is like an amazing pick. It does so many things, and it's so hard to kill.
Yeah, its disguise is a really good ability.
Yep. And since it's a ghost type, you can't fake it out either, unless
Yeah.
you got Scrappy.
Mhm.
Overall, it's a pretty good team, but I'd say you have like a somewhat of a fire weakness. You're like your only the main way you have to deal with fire types is Mudsdale and Blastoise, I guess. But the problem with Gmax Blastoise is that it can't set its rain, or it can't like get rid of the sun. So it might like be weaker against faster fire types.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. There's not like that's the only weakness I see with the team. It's got like pretty good speed. It's like you said, it's not super fast, but you have ways to get speed control. Like you have Sneasel with Icy Wind. You have Sigalith with Tailwind.
That's Skarmory.
Yeah, Skarmory. Galvantula gets Electro Webs. Or Sticky Webs, if you want to do that.
It gets String Shot as well. So it's like...
Oh, that's pretty good.
Makes them slower, but no damage to break sashes.
Yeah, but it works on ground types too. Electro Web doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, Mimikyu Mudsdale is a really good combo, like the beat up in Trick Room. And you also got Sneasel if you want to do Ice Shard or Surf with Mudsdale. I'd say it's a pretty good team. Like you might struggle a little bit with fire types, but other than that, like your team doesn't have much weaknesses. It's a pretty solid team, and it's tough to cover for like all your setups and your like different speed modes. So even if like your opponent has a strong fire type, they might not be able to deal with like the fast and slow mode.
That's the thing with draft as well. Like if you're only weak to one type, then you can just prep for that type if it's like a real threat.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a lot of people said last season that I was like really weak to water or really weak to ground, but like in draft you can see that coming up and you make an answer for it. Or you don't bring the mons that are weak to that. That type of thing. But yeah, that's my team. You got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's a pretty good team.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see, where did I rank this? I wanna put it in S tier, but that might be like too biased.
It's up to you, man.
Yeah, you know what? First team, S tier.
Sheesh. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good team, and I know you're a really good player, so that that might also like influence how I
Yeah,
rate this stuff.
it's a good compliment from the UGA champ.
Yeah, I
It's
mean you did beat me in the season.
yeah, I did. Then you got Slowpoke.
Yeah.
Slowpoke ruins lives.
All right. Let's move on to the next team, the Indiana Invaders, with Milo Marcus. I think this coach is new to UGA.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen this name around the UGA before. Um, the first thing I was going to say is that I think he had the first pick and he picked Landorus T. Am I remembering that right?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
bringing it up. I, you know what? I
I'm
feel
pretty mad
bad.
about this, but
I feel
I
bad
don't
for
think.
anyone that drafts Lando T
Yeah.
or anyone that picks Lando T in draft because it's
Uh-huh.
just so bad. And
Yeah.
using the first
A
pick
great
on it
one.
is just
Yeah. There's you could have added anything. Um, I mean, of course, maybe it fits your team better than we're giving credit for, but me and Tay notoriously don't like Lando T in draft. Like, obviously, it's a great VGC mon, but it's just so easy to prep for. Like, you bring Ice Beam on something, and then you don't need to worry about it as much.
yeah. It's just like in VGC you have less like resources to prep for everything, and that's why Lando T is good. But
Mm.
in draft, when you see a Lando T, you just put Ice Beam on like 2 mons, and then that's it. That's all you have to do for an S tier.
Mhm. Although the other S tier that Malamakis has drafted is Glastrier. I still think it's really good. If a team doesn't have like a solid way to counteract it snowballing, then it's going to ruin teams. Um,
Yeah, I will say that
and
even though he does have the Lando T, the rest of his team kind of mitigates the ice weakness. Like
mhm,
he got Bronzong, Entei, Glacier.
yeah, and then Glastrier is also paired up with a Bombi. Like we're seeing that duo again that we had in the Galar last season.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy
It's
duo.
beautiful Glastrier. Yeah, and there was the Appleton team as well. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see Appleton on this team in the midweek.
No, please no.
For the rest of the team, like I like Entei. Entei is a great pick for
Yeah, Entei is super cool.
like especially in A. Like Entei is one of those that could be bordering on S for me, so I think it's quite a value A pick. Like it can do physical well, it can do a pretty good job at being special, and like you can make it to be bulky because I think its HP stats like 100 or something.
I mean, those eruptions do a lot of damage.
Eruptions do a lot of damage, and Sacred Fire is just a great move. Like
You can
50%.
run physical special offense, or you can run support with like Snarl and Bulldoze and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's like it's a more to me it's like a more offensive Arcanine with like less support options because it doesn't get like the intimidating stuff, but it does a better job at hitting things.
Yeah, I see that.
Hmm.
I mm, I'm not sure about the Tangela pick.
I mean, it could just be there for like you have to prep a Tangler.
Yeah, I guess it's just there for like a 1 or 2 turn redirection.
Yeah,
I was more so saying that because like you're probably bringing Heat Wave against Tangela, and there's a lot of mons weak to like fire. Not a lot, but a couple.
But yeah, there's a significant amount. Like Bronzong.
I guess Bronzong can be heat proof.
Yeah.
So you can run Bronzong heat proof every week, and like who's gonna risk throwing out a Max Quake on a Bronzong?
I don't know. If you know your calcs and you heat wave it, and you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. There's no else. Drudigon's like a bit of a weird one for me. I don't know that much about it really.
It gets Mold Breaker. That's cool.
It's Mold Breaker. Yeah, Mimikyu doesn't like that.
Let me see its moveset.
I've got a feeling it's like just like more supportive, but I think it's like Iron Head and stuff, which could be good for like sheer force.
It gets Sucker Punch. Yeah, Iron Head, Gunk Shot. Yo, Sheer Force Gunk Shot.
Yeah, pretty good. It's the same thing, like, it's pretty slow, but you can just speed swap it with a Bombi. And then you've got, like, a sheer force offensive one.
Like, it's got 120 attack, which is pretty good for, what tier was this? A D tier?
D tier, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's got another good Trick Room setter in Bronzong. Bronzong caused me a bit of hassle in BBL. Like, it's bulky, it can body press using the bulk and stuff. Hypnosis if you really want, if you want to be crazy.
Yeah, Bronzong is just super good in draft. It can do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was saying earlier, like it gets two like really good abilities, and you just have to guess which one it's gonna bring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like 9 times out of 10 it is Levitate.
Yeah.
You can always just switch it up and then use that. Like they think it's going to be Levitate. Last thing I just want to talk about is Mienshao. Mienshao's good. Mienshao's a good fake out user because he can't be faked out itself.
Yeah, he snipes Mienshao.
Yeah. So he'd be a bit salty. And it's just got a good offensive impact as well. Like close combats always do a lot of damage.
I mean, it gets really good support. Like, it gets Rock Tomb, it gets Wide Guard. I think it gets Quick Guard. It gets Fake Out and Feints, and then, of course, it gets Coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the opposing team doesn't have great special mons to deal with Glacier, you can just lead it in the front and start coaching.
Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing like an outstanding weakness either. In like in the typings. Maybe ground.
Maybe, but like you have Ribombi and Glacier, and even Landesi.
Yeah, Bronzong got Levitates and less.
Yeah, it's a nice like typing. Like his team's got really nice typing.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty evenly distributed. Like,
yeah, okay.
I will say the weakest pick is probably like aside from Lando T, it's probably Aggron, because it kind of does the same thing as Glacier.
Yeah, that's true. And not as well either. Like it's more of a defensive one than offensive. I remember like its attack stack's good, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And it's at a weird speed. It's actually quite fast for a big rock and steel dinosaur.
Yeah, it's at 50 speed.
But I feel like outside of like Bronzong, Aggron, Glastrier, and maybe Druddigon, I feel like the team's kind of frail.
I mean, Entei's pretty bulky.
Yeah, Entei's pretty bulky, I guess, too. True.
I think Ribombee gets
not especially like
screens.
it needs Ribombee. Yeah, probably. I think Entei kind of needs Salt Vest to be bulky because I think its special defense lets him down a little bit. Like it's physically bulky.
Yeah, this team is pretty physically bulky.
Yeah. And it kind of doesn't need it if it's going to use Lando to intimidate things.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you could get rid of Lando and add like some specially bulky mon, and this team would probably be like one of the best teams.
Yeah, definitely. It is really good.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a team to put Lando on, it would probably be this one, because the rest of the team is just really good.
Yeah, especially into ice.
Yeah.
My advice would still be drop Lando.
I'm gonna look at the tier list to see if there's anything. I mean, you could take Tapu Fini. That works really well with Glastrier.
Oh yeah, Tapu Fini would be great.
Yep. You get the terrain for Wisp, and you get like you just get a nice water and fairy type to resist Glastrier weaknesses.
Yeah. And what about Aggron? Like you said, maybe get rid of Aggron. What would you replace it for? Because they already have a steel type in Bronzong. And Glastrier would be a Trickling Sweeper.
I mean, if they still need the rock type,
A Lycanroc or something?
yeah, I mean, you might as well get Lycanroc.
Like at least it hits Stone Edge hard, right? Because you've got the midday form, so it just midnight.
Yeah, the midnight one is still available. But yeah, I think like this seems really good in despite Orlando T, not really because of it.
Yeah.
And it could be like, it could probably be the best team in the division if you traded Lando T for like Tapu Fini or something else.
Yeah, for sure. So where are we putting it? Are we putting it definitive A tier? Is it going into S tier? Or is it like?
It's tough to say. This is like a high A or low S.
Mhm.
I can't really decide on this one.
Well, compare it to my team. You've got something to compare to. And don't worry, I won't be hurt if you say it's better than my team. I'm usually the lower half of the power ranking, so it's already a positive for me.
I don't know. Honestly, I might have been biased when ranking you.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
It wasn't really based off just your team. It was based off like, because I know you're a good battler too.
Yeah, cool. Drop me to A then. We can put this in S because this is a good team.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one. The Boston Bisharps. Oh yeah, this is the team that dropped Whimsicott and Lucario and then picked them up again in the end.
What's the odds that they're gonna drop them in the break after week 4?
I mean,
I,
if it ends up disappointing, oh, there's like so many similar types on this team.
yeah, like 3 fire types, 3 grass types.
2 fairy, 2 dark.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff not right here.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a Sun team, where I think its goal is to be a Sun team.
it's what?
Like, it is a Sun team. Like, it's a Sun team. It's a team that's built around the Sun. But I don't think it's done so well because you've got 3 grass types and a steel type, and the only resistance to the fire is Caracosta. Oh, and Haxorus.
Yeah, other than the fire types.
Other than the fire types, yeah. But you know, it's not the bulkiest team either. Like, the fire types aren't that bulky. Like, okay, Ninetales is special. Actually, there's Torracat. I take that back. Torracat's bulky.
Yeah, Torracat's bulky.
But like, Crocodile isn't that bulky. Magmar, I don't recall it being bulky.
I feel like a good ground type just goes to this team, or like another fire type, like just abuse the sun that they set for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you have, I don't think sun with we said before, like, having weather as your main mode is not like a great idea.
Yeah, because it's just too easy to prep for, like.
So like, if you had Ninetales and Venusaur and the rest of the team was like other stuff, that would be fine. But like with the shift tree, it's like another special chlorophyll user, which is the same thing as Venusaur. And if you're prepping for Venusaur, you've already prepped for shift tree.
Yeah, definitely. And then Magmar is just going to be riding off the sun, I imagine, too. Like, getting its extra power from its monstrous attack stamp. I don't know, I feel like if you've got a way to stop weather, like, you bring it, and then they have to use another mode. Which it looks like it's either Crocodile, Haxorus, Lucario, or Caracosta.
Yeah, I feel like if a team can deal with the grass types, like, a ground type will just sweep through your team if it has answers to the grass types.
Yeah, definitely.
This team has no Trick Room. Well, they have Trick Room setters, but they don't have a Trick Room mode.
Yeah, the slowest ones, Caracosta.
I don't really count Caracosta. I've never seen anyone use this. I don't know what it does.
Yeah, the other time I've seen it is in random battles.
Yeah, like, it's got high defense, but 65 special defense with the 4 times weakness is not great.
Yeah, Absol's just gonna go in. Caracosta.
I guess it gets Solid Rock, but still.
I mean, to help that, they've got Mr. Mime, that's famously a screen setter. But yeah, I'm not sure how. I think they're gonna have to lean on that a little bit of screen support.
Yeah. This whole team's above 80 speed, except for Caracosta.
Yeah, so you can just bring Trick Room, and then
Yep.
you're already at the advantage. Although, yeah. So yeah, maybe you just like swap out some fire type mons and Shiftry for some other things, and I think you're on the way to a good team. Like, I think Mr. Mime's a great pick in a D team, to be honest. Like, you get Fake Out, Trick Room, Screens.
Yeah, Mr. Mime is great, but I feel like you need a much better water type. Because
Yeah, definitely.
For a Sun team, you're pretty weak to fire types.
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy for like another like Magmortar and Ninetales are not the best like offensive fire types, and if another team has a better offensive fire type, they can just take advantage of your Sun and use it against you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I think Magmar is like, it has to use Choice Scarf to be able to, because its speed's really slow for like something that wants to hit things hard.
What is its bulk like?
I can't remember. I remember using it to prep against New last season, but
It's 67 defense.
yeah.
It's not great for something weak to ground types and rock.
And
Which are
rock
usually
types, yeah.
physical.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So for me, this is looking like a C tier. There's definite changes that they can make to make it a B tier.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And maybe, I don't know, it maybe could reach A tier if like make some big changes after week 4 when they can. Just to mitigate that the fire weakness for a Sun team and different modes and stuff.
Yeah, you just don't want to go all in on Sun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Lucario is a cool mon, but because of the rest of the team, it might not get to do much because the rest of the team just shares weaknesses with it.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I agree with you about this being a C tier team. Alright, let's go to the next one. Lake Eerie Monsters. This is a pretty nice team, just from looking at it.
Yeah, it's my week 1 team, and just looking at it, there's no like clear answer.
Yeah.
So
like just
I've
looking at the types from the start, it's got a lot of variety.
A lot of variety, yeah. And I put it into like a type coverage calculator, and it's only overall it's got a -1 weakness to fairy and a -1 weakness to fighting. So like its defensive coverage is great. There's no like really outstanding weaknesses.
Yeah, and I feel like the fairy weakness is probably just there because of Como.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that type that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like this team has a pretty good fast mode and a pretty good trick room. Like you got Oranguru, Regirock. That's like an amazing combo.
Yeah, it is. Just rock slide and instruct. All you need to do.
You got like bulldoze and then weakness policy, and then you give the item to.
Oh, the symbiote. Yeah, that's how it
the
works.
symbiosis.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and then you got instruct. Maractus is good for the like water weakness of Arcanine and Regirock.
And Regirock. Yeah, I think the Maractus is a great pick.
Yeah, and it's a D tier. That's pretty good.
Yeah, value Storm. You got Seismitoad as well. They can come in on switch-ins. Water Absorb. And it's got Swift Swim to go with Klefki. So like you can Rain Dance. And then you get the Seismitoad.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about Clefly. It's so good in draft.
Yeah, Klefki is really annoying.
It does so many things, and it's so annoying.
It does too many things. it's
like, if you think
Switch
Regirock is bulky now, just imagine it behind screens. Yeah, and then this thing gets like Prankster, Thunder Wave, and
Switcheroos and everything.
Weavile Arcanine is pretty cool.
Yeah, Weavile Arcanine.
It's not as good as Sneasel Arcanine, but it's good.
Yeah, it is good. I think the losing the inner focus really lets Weavile down. Because it's just a great one. Like, it can be more offensive than Sneasel. Yeah, and it's faster. So if I had inner focus, I think it'd be one of the fastest ones that can't be faked out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is if you don't count ghost types.
Crobat I think is faster.
Oh,
but
yeah, you're right. I think Raikou might be faster too.
Maybe, yeah. And then you've got Corsola.
Yeah, Corsola gives me like flashbacks to playing singles.
Singles. Not even in singles. I struggled with it in like DGC season 1.
Really?
1 and 2. It was roaming around, yeah. It's just so bulky, and it gets strength staff. And I think it can get Calm Mind, so it can get like bulky on both sides.
It gets Iron Defense. It doesn't even need strength staff.
It needs strength staff.
And it also gets Haze. You can't set up on it.
Yeah, it's another good value D tier issue.
Oh, it gets Amnesia, so it doesn't even need Calm Mind. Yeah, it's super good. And it gets like other support moves like Icy Wind, some weather moves. It gets Will-O-Wisp. It's overall pretty good bulky support.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for D tier.
Yeah, definitely for D tier. Crazy value.
Oh, it gets Pain Split, right?
No, I'm not sure. Let me check.
Oh no, it doesn't get Pain Split. But
it doesn't get Pain Split.
But Strength Sap is good enough recovery. Yeah. Miltank is pretty cool.
Yeah, Miltank's got a good little support. It can be offensive sometimes if you want it to too.
It's got good abilities too.
Yeah, Sap Sipper for Seismitoad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about we haven't talked about Thundurus.
I mean, Thundurus is good. It hits hard, but its problem is that it only hits hard with electric, pretty much. Like,
yeah, it's just got a bad move pool.
Its coverage isn't great. Like, let me check. Yeah, it doesn't even have
Like you get
He doesn't have a special flying move.
no, it doesn't. It gets decent moves, but no flying move is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not great for the guy.
And it's like not fast enough to where like it doesn't need the flying move. It kind of needs it at 101.
Yeah, definitely.
But it could probably wreak some havoc with like a Specs set or something.
Yeah, he definitely could. Yeah, I think it's the speeds on this team are a bit weird. Like it goes from 125 to 101, and then its slowest mon is it's Corsola, but the Corsola isn't going to be as an offensive threat in Trick Room, so like the slowest offensive mon's probably Regirock at 50.
Mm-hmm. I do think it's hard to deal with both fast and slow modes on this team.
Yeah.
And I feel like this team doesn't need speed control that much because it's got a lot of bulk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with like Arcanine Intimidate.
Yeah, and Klefki with screens.
Screen.
Yeah, I think this team's pretty good. Like, top of A tier.
Yeah, definitely A tier.
Alright.
So it's a Mismagical Marauders.
Team.
So Mismag's a great team builder. I'm having fun using his team in the season 2 Switch tour that we're doing. And I feel like he made some trades that actually let him down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I thought his team was a lot better before the trades.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what was it? It was he got rid of Araquanid for Jellicent.
Yeah. It was
he downgraded
for Jellicent and Executor for
Altaria,
and
that allowed him enough points to change something for Virizion.
Drapion for Virizion,
yeah. And
I don't think he needed Virizion.
Yeah, I think his team was already threatening enough without the need to threaten beat up Virizion.
Yeah, I feel like he had enough mons, enough like tech mons, like, or setup mons. And the Araquanid was really good for just being something that didn't need any support or any other mon. It's like really threatening on its own.
Yeah.
But like that's not the case with Virizion. It's not threatening on its own.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, just because it doesn't have a good defensive stat and like flying coverage is so abundant in a max meta VGC.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have a good attacking stat either. Like.
Yeah, like 90. I think it's the same as Cobalions, right?
Yeah. It's not good without the Justified. Or without the beat up. But like.
But other than trades, I still think it's a good team.
Yep. Yeah. I agree with you.
like Metagross is always going to be good. Especially if you've got ways to proc policies and stuff, which it does. Pheromosa, because Pheromosa can fling Lansat berries onto it.
Yeah, Lancet berries. Or Salic berries, or whatever you want to fling.
Yeah. And then it's got the speed swap as well, so it can just become super fast, like the fastest Metagross ever. And you got Wishy Washy again, which I think is a great pick. Wishy Washy is a great mon that I slept on before the Team Switch 2 were doing.
Yeah, I got it in the NatDex League.
Yeah, and its base speed goes down to 20 when it schools, so it's a real threat in Trick Room.
Yep, and you can speed swap the Wishy Washy.
Yeah, like all of these mons just have the possibility of becoming the fastest, the fastest mon in the game. Because Lecky wasn't picked. Yeah, and they Gothorita just to like punish bad leads with Shadow Tag. Does it get Frisk as well? Frisk if you really want. If you really need to know what the items are, like Mental Herbs or Lumberries or something. And I even slept on Jigglypuff. I was looking at Jigglypuff a bit, like it's 115 HP stat, allows you to just invest in the defenses, and then if Eviolite does its work to get it to be as bulky as like a Clefairy. And he gets Friend Guard and some cool little support moves that Clefairy doesn't get.
It gets that like move that heals the next Pokemon that takes damage or something, but it faints.
Healing Wish.
Yeah, it gets.
Yeah, exactly. And that can be really good for like Metagross because it also heals like status. So if Metagross like finds itself getting burnt or something.
Yep. And the thing is, like, you just put it next to Metagross and you ally switch, and your opponent just has to call whether it's going to ally switch or not.
And there's a nice little mechanism with ally switch healing wish as well, because Metagross can ally switch. I think if Jigglypuff uses healing wish and Metagross ally switches, it's Metagross that gets the benefit.
Yeah, that's how it works. But I mean, if like Jigglypuff can healing wish, you bring in Gothorita, and then that can also ally switch. But yeah, there's a lot of like cool stuff with this team, and I don't think Virizion was needed.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I do kind of like Altaria though. Like it's Cloud 9 and support's really nice because Mismag doesn't have a Weather Setter or a Prankster user, so I think that'll help him against like the weather teams and stuff.
Yeah, because Metagross tends to struggle against Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like instead of Virizion, you could get Virizion and Jellicent. You could probably get like a Trick Room in A tier rather than B tier. Although I don't know if anything was available. Let me check. It's mostly just psychic types, but oh, Porygon. No, wait, no. That's the wrong Porygon.
But like the base form of Porygon's still available, right?
Yeah, it is.
He had that too last season, and it was a nightmare to prep for. Like I remember you just like full rowing me with Porygon, and it was quite tilting actually.
Yeah, I actually think Porygon Z or regular Porygon would have fit on his team.
Mhm.
Like, he's got so many fighting resists. If he
Yeah.
had, yeah, so he honestly could have just used Porygon Z as a Trick Room setter
Mhm.
or a regular Porygon and
Yeah, exactly.
kept a Araquanid.
Uh huh.
Because the normal
Um.
typing helps with, like the ghost. There's like a slight ghost weakness.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, absolutely. And I think having like a generic normal type on your team is pretty good anyway because it doesn't have many weaknesses, so you can
Mm-hmm.
switch it in on a lot of things. Um,
Yeah.
maybe that's just I like just a normal type.
Yeah. Normal types are pretty good. Especially like earlier Gen 1s.
Hmm. Yeah, because they
Because
get all the coverage.
they learn everything.
Yeah. Um, but like apart from the trashing that we gave in the in the first minute of this team, for me this is still an S tier. Like it's still got a load of like physical threats with like great support, and its
Mm-hmm.
speed control is probably the best with like speed 20 for Wishy Washy School and not Clefairy Jigglypuff, and then the fastest one that's been drafted,
Mm-hmm.
and it still has Tailwind support and Electro Webs from Thundurus.
Yep.
Tailwind from Altaria.
Yeah, we
I
haven't
mean,
really talked about Thundurus, but that's like one of the best draft mons. Just
yeah.
running like Defiant, Physical, or just Prankster. It's
Hmm.
so good. It gets so many moves with Prankster, and it also just gets a huge offensive move pool.
Yeah, it's just a great one for a great team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think with the trades, the team went from like the best team possibly the
Yeah,
best
for me,
team
it was.
to like on par with the other S tiers.
Hmm.
Like before the trades, it was clearly ahead, but now it's like it's at the same level with the other S tier team, in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
agree. I agree with that.
All right, next team is Casey's team,
KC.
California Coalossals, and yeah, he ended up going for like sort of AC's team.
Yeah, it's pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
I think it is very AC teamy. Um, but I'm not sure if it's as good because he doesn't have like the offensive Excadrill
Mm-hmm.
and some other stuff that it just doesn't sit right.
Yeah, like one thing I noticed is this team doesn't have a steel type,
Yeah,
and
I mean it doesn't have anything to take advantage of the sand that Gigalith brings.
yeah, that's also
Right?
true. There's a Gigalith, but nothing to go with it.
Yeah. Um,
And its Trick Room is not like the best.
mhm.
Like yeah, Snorlax and Gigalith, but they
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 both have
share
a
they share
fighting weakness.
weaknesses like they can't do much to steel types, fighting
Mhm.
types. They both get hit by fighting types.
Yeah, and Snorlax just gets hit by physical moves anyway,
Oh yeah.
or not as well as special moves.
And they're both physical, so they could just get
Yeah.
intimidated easily.
Hmm.
Or baby doll eyes.
But one thing I do like about this team is like follow me Togepi with Snorlax. Like you can belly drum. You could be gluttony, so you can have like a custard berry to like self-destruct or just hit things hard with something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to be a +6 anyway, so like anything's probably going to KO, especially a normal move.
Although, I feel like if you see Belly Drum and the Snorlax doesn't eat a berry, you know it's just a berry, and you could just like protect. You could just double protect.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even if it goes for a max move, it's not G max, so it's not gonna get another berry.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You just have to wait out one turn.
Mm-hmm. Comfy's a nice change though too, for Moltres.
Mm-hmm.
It just has. It's a bit like mine. Like I think it's got a lot of setup.
Yeah, but it's got like this team is pretty weak to steel types.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Blacephalon, War Turtle, and Quagsire that resist.
Yeah.
And Quagsire is not the greatest. Like I don't think this team can deal with a good steel type.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially something like Excadrill that can just max Quake.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever doesn't.
Also, this team doesn't have the best Trick Room setters. Like, Comfy is decent, but it's
It's used for other stuff, right?
yeah.
Um,
And Gallade is not. It should not
Glade's
be
frail.
being used for as a Trick Room setter.
Yeah, Glade needs to hit things.
Yeah, it's.
But yeah, I think they've got to lean on Togepi a bit to like get the setup for some stuff.
Yeah, Togepi is probably gonna be the MVP on this team.
Or like Comfy Moltres is quite easy to get off because of the triage, like for setup wise.
Mm-hmm. Although if you have a faster fake out, if you have fake out faster than Comfy,
There could be. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. The Persians. I did wonder what the Persian was for, like when he first drafted it, and I was like, okay, Persian's a good one, but I feel like it has to be on a team that it synergizes with the best. Like you can use its beta and some other stuff, and it doesn't help like the shared fighting weakness between Gigalith and Snorlax, or like a fairy weakness that Moltres has and Gallade.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you drafted Gallade, I was like, okay, cool, he's got a Justified one, but I'm not sure if Gallade's like the best Justified user because its speed's really weird. Like it's 80, so it's not fast and it's not slow.
Yeah, it's
so I feel like it's just gonna get out. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Gallade's just kind of bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't do much. It kind of just dies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the only good thing about it is it's got good special defense, but it's gonna die on Max Airstream.
Yeah, or something like that. Max Ghost or something.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's sitting at a B tier right now.
Yeah.
I think it's got ways to be useful, but it can be exploited a bit too easily.
Mm-hmm. It's too easy to counter what this team's trying to go for.
Mm.
So they're gonna have to work pretty hard to pull some stuff off, or do a lot of unconventional things.
Yeah, definitely. Which
Also,
they'll probably end up doing, because a lot of the VBL people are really unconventional and can do some weird and wonderful things.
yeah, that's true. They got a lot of creativity with their teams.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But,
that's it.
I'm not sure what War Turtle does here.
War Turtle's going to Aqua Jet, activate some absorb bulbs or policies. It's going to set screens. I think it gets Reflect. But maybe I made that up.
Does it get Fake Out?
It gets Fake Out. So yeah, it's another Fake Out user. It's really bulky, because it can use EV only.
Let me see. Oh,
Yeah, it
80 defenses, that's pretty good. Yeah, I guess
Yes.
if you're using it for Aqua Jet, that's not bad.
You can haze. Yeah, you can Shell Smash Water Spell. That's there. What else? Yawn. It's got some the Blastoise line's got some really nice support moves.
It's gonna Shell Smash Water Spout with 65 special attack.
Hey, there's Togepi. Togepi can probably let it get two Shell Smashes off.
Yeah, true. You just keep healing it with Comfy and Shell Smashing.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, right now it's a B tier.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. You got anything else to say about this team?
No, I was moving on to the next one.
Nice. So the Ottawa Staraptors.
Yep.
I think this is a good team.
Yeah.
You have one of the best support mons in game. Definitely draft in DD female. That can just let Attilion focus energy, or Drifblim get Tailwind up, or do whatever Drifblim's going to do with its own burden. It can follow me with Excadrill to allow Excadrill to Swords Dance before Hippopotas switches in and gets its Sandstream. Its little Sandrush from Sandstream. Manetrix there to cover the electric weakness for Drifblim and Inteleon. And Lileep's there to Storm Drain away anything that threatens Excadrill from water or something.
Yeah, it protects the Sand Core. Yeah, I'd say this seems pretty good. The Slowbro and DD looks pretty strong. You go, it's instead of Hatterene, you got Slowbro. It works kind of the same.
Yeah, kind of the same way. I think where this team falls down is that it's quite weak on the special defense side. It's quite weak in general, but you've got Slowbro and Intimidate from Scrafty. It's especially weak on the defensive side. And it takes a turn to set up if you're going to do that strat with like follow me, or for Mon with focus energy or sword stance, or nasty pull from Slowbro maybe even.
Yeah, and anything with NDD helping setup is gonna get you're gonna get hit with the spread moves.
Yeah, like you see in DD, you got to bring spread move.
People are gonna bring Earthquake against the Slowbro and Inteleon,
Yeah, Heat Waves for Excadrill.
Mm-hmm.
Like every spread move is coming. Yeah, but its range and speed's pretty good. Like you got 30 with Slowbro for Trick Room, 120, which is a nice benchmark I like to have with Inteleon. And anything else just gets covered by Drifblim, Unburden, Tailwind.
Mm-hmm. I will say that the only downside of having Drifblim as Unburden is that it's normally like a support mon that doesn't max, because it's got like really bad moves.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be beside something that isn't indeed female, like a Lele or a Rillaboom.
Yeah, like Rillaboom Drifblim is great because you can set Tailwind for your Rillaboom and strength sap things, and or yeah, it has to be next to a terrain setter that's going to Dynamax. And like if you have Inzedee and Drifblim, it's really passive.
Yeah.
So you'll probably have to bring Drifblim like in the back most of the time.
Yeah, and then maybe it's too late. I think like Sceptile could be better than Flapple for an Unburden mon, because you can do the Follow Me Sword Stance and then max Sceptile, like that's your max option, like the Unburden one. And then you freed up a tier 3 or B tier, whatever it is, for something else.
Yeah, you could take out Drifblim and put something else if you get Sceptile. Yeah, I think this is just another B team.
Yeah, like it doesn't have like a great like coverage in the typings either. Like there's a lot of ground, rock, 2 grass types, 2 psychic. So like you only need to bring like a few moves to bring against it.
Yep.
And some quite common stuff as well, like I think ground hits everything apart from Flapple, at least neutral, and Drifblim of course because of flying. Yeah, I think B tier.
Yep. I don't think this team has wide guard to deal with spread moves.
Yeah, no, me neither. I think, yeah, wide guard would be really nice on this team. If you go in for that like hyper offense setup. But, you know, if the hyper offense like sets up and gets going, then it's definitely gonna like 4-0 some things. It's just getting it set up without
it's just
taking
the turn 1 and turn 2 is gonna be a lot of like 50-50s.
Yeah, it's crucial for them.
So just because like I feel like it's not gonna be super consistent, I'm gonna put it in B tier.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Alright, the next team is San Francisco Smeargles.
Oh, this is the Perish Trap team. They picked up Sandaconda for its trapping ability.
Yeah.
They like pretty late on.
But I don't know, the Sandaconda's pretty bad if you're using it for its G-Max move.
Yeah, I actually preferred Seeking, because then at least it had a Swift Swimmer to go with Politoed.
And Lightning Rod. Oh well, I guess they have Pikachu, so.
Yeah, they have Pikachu. But yeah, it's another team that only has one Trick Room Mon in Appleton.
Mm-hmm.
So like Trick Room can be exploited pretty easily.
I mean, they also like the Trick Room setter is not the best in draft.
Yeah, it's Articuno.
Like I liked Articuno and I used it in the Players Cup, like 2, I think. It worked really well with I had like Trick Room, Imprison, Ally Switch, and it worked well. But it's too easy to prep for in draft because you can just fake it out or taunt it. And it's not the bulkiest either, so I had to run it with Sash on my Players Cup team.
Yeah, and I feel like in VGC you don't need to trap to use Perisong because you need to take out 2 Mons and then you can use it well.
Yep.
I
mean that's why like Lapras is so good because it can usually get 2 KOs and then just Perisong.
Yeah.
And it's bulky enough to survive that long. But yeah, there's like the only thing on this team that will probably get 2 KOs pretty quickly is Togekiss, like a crit kiss or weakness policy.
Yeah, definitely. Taurus could as well. I think Taurus is the other good.
Oh yeah.
Frost Taurus. You need to prep for that, but there isn't. I don't see. Maybe there's some hidden stuff that I don't know about, but I don't see that many threats. Like they're all quite passive ones.
Oh yeah, this team is super weak to steel types. Like.
Yeah, Frostlass.
Articuno, Drowlodon get walled by steel types, and then steel types are just good against the rest of the team.
Yeah, I think Pikachu Togekiss is a threat though, as well.
Yeah.
I 8-0'd almost with Pikachu. The Aerodactyl stole the kill from Pikachu. I think.
Prepping against your team that week was pain.
Yeah, I think if you have a good steel type and you can work around Pikachu, I think like this team's already kind of like falling apart. I think the other thing would be like Sandaconda would be a threat as your steel type, and vice versa, you walled against Duraludon.
Yeah. But this team also has no Trick Room answer, like other than imprisoning Trick Room.
Yeah.
It's just like there's not
much.
It's
kind of hard for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this in C.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me see the other C team. Oh no.
Are you thinking B?
Oh no, I was thinking D, but I'll put it
No,
low C.
I don't think it's D. Like it's got some good stuff, but like it's got some of the best ones in draft, like Togekiss and Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, but it's just like there's nothing with Togekiss and Grimmsnarl that helps
Yeah.
out. This is
they have
a team that's like really good in the end game of matches, but doesn't have like a great way to get there.
Yeah, it doesn't have an opener.
Yeah, I'll put it at the bottom of C for now.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll do one more team and then we can stop for today.
Yeah, that sounds good.
This is the other Sun team, the next team. Ferocious Ursarings.
Yeah. I feel like this is a better Sun team.
You've
got like more type coverage, and Lilligant's great because it can after you in the sun anyway. And sleeping, it doesn't need to max. Charizard's a threat, obviously, with solar power.
Charizard is a rock slide food.
Yeah, that's true.
But
you've also got Heliolisk, right? That can
yeah.
use solar power too, and it's faster. And like its fighting weakness is mitigated by Charizard, and its ground weakness is mitigated by Lilligant, Brave, and its
electric weakness is dealt with by Marowak.
Yeah, it comes together quite well. Torkoal's great. Torkoal's a threat in Trick Room, like its base speed's 20.
Torkoal's so good. Like,
yeah, Torkoal's amazing.
It should have been S tier.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't, to be fair. Yeah, and 2 Trick Room setters. One of them is Galarian Slowking, the other is Beetle. I do wonder why they didn't take normal Slowking.
Because I took it.
Oh, because you took it, yeah.
They picked right after me, so.
Oh, damn.
I wonder if they did want to take a.
The Slowpoke. Slowking. They should have taken Slowpoke then.
Yeah. But maybe they wanted the poison typing.
Yeah, maybe.
Hitmonchan is great value.
Hitmonchan's amazing.
Like
Fake out bulk.
Yeah, you can Iron Fist. You can run Iron Fist and Assault Vest and just tank hits from special attackers.
And then Drain Punch it back. Like.
Yep. Or you can run Inner Focus and run like Fake Out and stuff. And yeah, it's just all around a pretty good pick. It works in like the fast mode and in Trick Room. Let's see what else.
Yeah,
the Trick Room on this team is pretty good. Like It's super good. Like you have Torkoal and Marowak.
Yep.
Um,
Slowking,
Sulking, even Azumarill.
Azumarill, yeah. Against the right team, yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just going to fall short where someone can take advantage of the weather or like stop the weather and has like answers to Slowking, Torkoal, and Marowak somehow. Like I don't know how that's going to happen. I guess maybe like a bulky water type or something.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get around the sun.
But yeah, the fast mode deals with water types pretty well.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty balanced team, and I love that it's got weather that's not like
It's not the backbone of the team.
yeah.
Because you could also run Bravery with Tailwind
Mm-hmm.
and have like other things doing things.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Purloin. That it like lets this team do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, and it keeps the sun in. Like it can.
Like I'm just thinking about Copycat Trick Room with Slowking, and then you like fake tears.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Didn't even think of that.
It gets Manual Sun, Prankster
Yeah,
Sun.
sunny day. Keep that sun up.
Yeah, and fake tears is just really good with like.
Does it get switch? Does it get switcheroo too?
I think so.
Yeah, so you could just do like the classic switcheroo reject button. And give it to Dynamo.
Gets fake out.
Yeah. Yeah, Purloin's a delight, but
Yeah, I think this team is pretty well balanced,
yeah, I agree.
and it's got a lot of threats, and it's gonna be hard to deal with all of them. Yeah, I think this is like a high A tier, maybe an S tier.
Yeah, I think it's high 80. I don't think it's quite like. It's still got a mode that can be exploited, like quite easily by changing the weather. The others didn't have that. And also like it isn't the bulkiest team in the world.
No, it's
Like-
a hyper offense team.
Yeah, I mean Orbeetle's bulky and like so is Marowak physically and Torkoal physically.
I mean, I don't think hyper offense is bad. It's as long as you can play it well.
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't. I used it in the VBL.
Yeah.
And Slowking's a special bulk, but like it could be exploited by like a ground type move.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing holding this team back from
Getting-
is
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
got a slight ground weakness.
Because I think like a ground type mon or a rock type mon is going to come against this team. More likely to be ground, I'd say, because of Hitmonchan. But either way, they both get like rock and ground coverage quite extensively.
Yeah, like Torkoal
I
gets
feel like-
Solar Beam and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of stuff. If you can't hit it with a ground type move, you're going to hit it with a rock type move. And then you just work around that mon for the stuff like Azumarill or Hitmonchan.
Yeah, I like the Azumarill pick. Like, I think like I really respect that pick, and I think he knows what he's doing with this team.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like I'd say it's borderline on S tier, A tier.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's a bit worse, and the A tier is looking like it's looking pretty dry. The A tier. I'm gonna put it in high A for now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, now A tier has the most teams. We can move one of those to D.
A tier's got. I've only got 2 in A tier. Am I missing?
I was talking about your team. We could move your team to D.
Oh, mine's already in D. I just put it there.
No, I have yours in A for my
That's
tier
why you've got.
list.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, mine's already in D on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can continue this tomorrow
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah, no.
another day, and hopefully my logo will be finished by then, and I could put it on this tier list.
Uh-huh. You can go next to mine in D.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna. What do you think S stands for? It stands for Slowpoke.
Yeah, very good, very good.
The next team is the Sacramento Nidokings.
Mm-hmm. Do you wanna leave with the Palisandre Selgo?
Yeah. So
Let's get it out of the way.
this team is pretty good, but it's got Palisonic Salgor, and that's basically dead weight. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you had it. Did you have it last season? At the start of last season?
Yeah, I had Palisand last season. I didn't have Excelgor, but I had Inteleon, so it was close enough.
Like Aquajet.
Yeah. And it didn't work at all. It just was not a good idea. Like, you can raise its defense, but it just has such bad special defense, and it's so slow. It's always gonna go last and get hit by a max move. And even with a weakness policy, it's not KOing much.
Yeah, I see that.
It's also
I remember it.
It doesn't have the best coverage either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really needs those max quakes to get going to give it the boosts, the special defense boosts. But like you said, like with a lead like a Selgo Palisand, it's not gonna be going first. So they can't get them up.
Yep.
And even like, well, I've just realized they got Rillaboom, so you can't glide into it before the Selgo goes.
But you can fake out the Excelgor.
That's true.
It's easy to just fake out and max Airstream into Excelgor slot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might be faster than the Excelgor, and it's just easy from there. Like, yeah, and considering that Palisand is a tier 3, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, no value.
There's like way too many there's way too many better ons in that tier.
Yeah, in the B tier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think Excelgor by itself can be good. It's got a lot of like support and like annoying moves like
nice.
Yawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and its speed is pretty good. I think
maybe that's Camo's thing. Maybe it's like he wants to sell Go, but maybe it's like a case of the Virizion thing. It's like it's something to prep against. Take your mind off what a Selgor actually wants to do. But like I said, I'm just not sure if it's worth it for like a B slot.
Yeah, I feel like Excelgor is better than Excelgor and Palisand.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely get a better ground type And I, like last season, I had Palisand as my ground type, and it was not working. I needed a Neo ground type.
Yeah, I remember it just flopping in prep.
Yep. The rest of the team is pretty good. Like Rillaboom, Primarina, Heatran. That's a really strong Fire, Water, Grass core.
It's a great core, and you even got like Holucha there as a Venom Bird with the Grassy Seed.
Yep.
And it just allows Rillaboom to become like such a threat.
Yeah, you could just spam
you could have like
onto Rillaboom.
Yeah, or Airstreams with Choice Band Woodhammers.
Yep.
Just to make it faster than the opponent. Like, yeah, it's just a big threat. And like they have Fletchinder, and you use Fletchinder in EBL, and it was just a great mon. I think he got 3 kills in one game, right? It was a bit OP.
Yeah, it was the kill leader that.
It's the kill leader of that set.
I think that week it was the kill leader.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Stoutland is a great choice. It's such a good mon, especially for 20 points.
Especially the 20 points. Yeah, it's bulkier than it appears to be. 3 amazing abilities, which you could harness even further by like swapping Palisand for Hippowdon. I think Hippowdon's a better ground type, and you get Sandstream to let Stoutland get fast and like hit hard in max with like max strikes from Giga Impact with a Life Orb. 110 base attack is great. Then yeah, if you need to run Scrappy one week because it's got an Intimidate user or like a really annoying ghost you want rid of, Scrappy's good, and then Intimidate's obviously just, it's got some great support moves. I really love this mon, and I'm sad it was sniped.
Yeah, it's great, and it's just really annoying to prep against. It can easily cripple your team. Yeah, I think Heatran is a great pick with Rillaboom. The grassy terrain protecting it from earthquakes. And
yeah, definitely.
Like just being able to switch in to ground type attacks. And also being able to switch Heatran into fire attacks to protect Rillaboom.
Yeah, and Heatran also works well with Primarina.
Yeah.
Like it gets rid of the annoying grass types that threaten Primarina, and its steel types just help it against Primarina's weaknesses in Fairy and Poison. So yeah, the fire water grass core is just, it's probably one of the best.
Yeah, and then I guess the last thing about this team, which might be the best, is the Slowpoke.
The goat.
Yep. It's just great. It's just great value.
I'll let you talk about Slowpoke.
It's super bulky. It survives almost anything. I remember I was calcing for like the grand finals, and it like survived a max Phantasm from Spectre if the Spectre wasn't Life Orb. It was something like that, something crazy, and it just keeps living, and it doesn't die, and it just yawns you and slacks off, and it just survives. It sets up Trick Room, helps out his team, and then it wins the game. Like, it does what it needs to do, and it's in D tier. It's so good.
It's super value. Yeah, it's nice to see that it's been picked up again, and I'm also glad that I don't have to play against it, because just figuring out how to kill it is just so annoying without like putting too many resources into it. like the same game, I was remembering that we had to use Helping Band, Choice Band, Darmanitan, using U-turn on it to give it a chance to kill. I think that was still a roll. It's like, this mon's just so bulky. Like, it's got no reason to be.
Yep. And it learns Whirlpool, so you don't even need to invest in attack. You just slowly like suffocate your opponent's team.
Attack.
Yeah, I really like this team, and it could easily be like S or even like A or S, somewhere up there. If the Palisand was just replaced with a better ground type.
Yeah, I think I think Camo needs to introduce something a little bit extra to get it into S. Because even though they have Heatran, they still got like quite an outstanding weakness to steel types. And fighting, for that matter. I guess not so much fighting, but steel definitely. I think they're only resist Fledchinder, which maybe I don't know how bulky that is with Eviolite.
It's not. It doesn't really resist anything. It's gonna die.
Yeah. Slowpoke obviously is a resist, and yeah, Slowpoke and Heatran are the steel resist.
Yeah. And like, if you just replace Palisand with Hippowdon can easily deal with steel types. And it's just another like mon that supports your team and doesn't rely on like a setup that doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Cool.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Or
no, that's it for me. Just Tyrantrum and Crazily are both rock types. I like Tyrantrum. It's got a bit of like offensive pressure with rock head smashes, but I don't know. It's kind of slow and kind of frail for a big rock dinosaur. And Cradily is nice.
It might work with Hawlucha, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Fletchinder, like Tailwind, and then it's got a pretty good attack stat, right?
Yeah, I think its attack's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is like a where would you put this team?
I put this as a good A tier. Like, it's got a few things it needs to iron out, but yeah, I think
a mid A tier.
Yeah, mid to high A tier, I'd say. I think I put it behind the Ursaring team anyway. I think. Am I remembering that right?
I think I'll play at the bottom of A. Or I don't know, it's tough.
What's the other A team?
The
other 8 teams, the Lake Erie Monsters.
Yeah, and then your team. Well,
I don't have my team. My team's in D for me. So yeah, actually, yeah, I think I will put it behind. But like, all the A's are so good anyway. So yeah, put it behind the A's we've got so far.
Yeah, like all the A tiers are just really good teams that are just missing one or two things from making them like almost impossible to deal with.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to the next team. The Middle Village Pidoves. So what are your thoughts about this team?
Sableye annoying. That was my first thought. First one there.
Yeah, Sableye is such a pain to go up against. And I had to.
Clefairy. Sorry, go on.
I was just saying I had to play against Sableye twice in last season, in the Galar season, because it got traded and then someone else took it.
Yeah, it did. You're right. You got drawn against it both times. I think I just went against it the once. And that was annoying enough.
Yeah, it's
Like,
pretty painful if you don't have a strong dark type to deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, just being able to make your opponent move last with Quash is it's so good by itself, but like it gets Wisp, it gets Taunt, I think.
It gets Fake Out.
Fake Out. Yeah, just it's a great one.
It gets Weather too.
It gets Weather too? Well, there you go.
I think it gets Weather. It seems like it gets Weather.
Yeah, it makes sense, I think. I can see it getting Weather. And the Weather could help out a lot of mons on this team. Especially with like the fire weakness that it kind of has in Roserade, Jinx, and Registeel.
Yeah, but I guess that leads us to the rest of the team, which is like Sableye is probably the only good thing about this team. It kind of just falls off from there.
I don't know. Registeel is a great pick.
It's good, but it just seems like the entire team is just full of like mons that don't want to Dynamax, or like sort of support mons that do damage, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I kind of get you. I can see Buffalon Dynamaxing and Gastrodon, and I can see Crustle Dynamaxing, but I don't know, it's a weird speed tier for Trick Room and Tailwind. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a way to like activate its weak armor with a policy. Like, there's no Mach Punch on this team or Bullet Punch.
You can I think Sableye gets Sucker Punch.
Okay, so you can activate the weak armor, but not with the policy.
Not with the policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be Bullet Punch or like Surf or something. Aqua Jet.
Yeah, Aqua Jet. Which I don't think I have. But yeah, it does kind of like fall after that. Clefairy, I'm not sure who was drafted first, Clefairy or Clefable, but if it was Clefairy, then I think Clefable's better. It has similar bulk after Eviolite, and it can be an offensive mon.
Yeah, like Clefable is a mon that can Dynamax into damage.
Yeah, definitely. And Unaware is just so good as a redirector in draft because of it just stops setup mons.
Oh,
like cool you set up, but you still can't touch me.
Do you wanna talk about like the trades that were made with this team?
Oh, what did they drop?
Because I remember they had, they had Riolu and Stakataka and Gmax Sandaconda, and they traded those for Registeel, Roserade, and Crustle.
Oh yeah, I think I feel like the team got weaker after those trades. You're down one Trick Room setter. Your Trick Room setter is now Jinx, which is very weak, especially on the physical side. But like taking damage defensively, very weak, I should say.
I mean,
Um,
it's not just like a Trick Room setter. It's like a Dynamax target, or yeah, Dynamax option.
yeah, definitely.
Like you
Um,
traded it for Registeel, and it's not the same. Like,
it's not the same, no. Yeah, definitely not. Um, but also, like, Stack Attack and his partner in Riolu's gone as well. They could have used Copycat. Trick Room, there's always that strat. Riolu has Bullet Punch. Lol. They could have activated a policy on Crustle. If you still went ahead with the Sandaconda, switch into Crustle.
And it gets coaching.
And it gets coaching, yeah. Quick Guard, Weather. Yeah, I think the trades left this team a little bit weaker, in my opinion.
Yep. I'm just not sure where the like Dynamax offense on this team is. Or like where the offense in general is. And
I mean, I guess Circuitry's got a high special.
Yeah,
Attack
but
stat.
what is Circuitry gonna do against the ground type? Does it get Grass Knot? Well, Grass Knot doesn't work on Dynamax, but does it get Energy Ball?
Yeah, I think it gets Energy Ball. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's a lot of support mons that can be easily taken advantage of, especially looking at the speed tiers. Like, the fastest thing is Crobat with 130, then Jinx with 95, so that's already a massive drop that you can take advantage of. And then it's Trick Room setters Jinx. And like Tailwind isn't going to take this team very far, I don't think.
No.
Because a lot of their offensive mons are really slow. Yeah.
Yeah, Jinx is not a Trick Room setter. It's just gonna die. Like, its defense is so bad.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of multi-hit moves that can hit it super effectively, like Pin Missile, Rock Blast, Beat Up being one of them. And because its defense is so bad, I think it's just gonna suffer for it.
Yeah, it probably takes like 30% just from Fake Out, if not more.
Yeah.
It's also something that doesn't want to Dynamax because it's better with Fake Out, and it gets that sleep move, like Lovely Kiss or something.
Yeah. And he wants to use its speed to like maybe Icy Wind things too for the rest of the team, but there's nothing to like take advantage of that. Really. Maybe Roserade. Roserade can hit hard, but again, it's quite a frail one.
I think,
and
like, for the most part, there's only like 1 or 2 mons that you have to deal with, and the rest of the team you can kind of ignore. Like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
Like in a match, when the match is happening, I like, none of these mons really have that much. Like, they don't really threaten much, and they need a lot of support. They're not great on their own.
Yeah.
Like, Registeel can be kind of scary, but it's only good in endgames where like their main offensive threats have been dealt with.
Yeah, something else that Registeel needs, which I've learned on the team switch to, because it's on Mismag's team, is that it needs either a redirector in a passive set of like obviously they have Clefairy, but I feel like it's better when there's a big offensive threat next to it rather than a redirector.
Mm-hmm.
Because Registeel either takes the heat off the offensive threat, and the offensive threat can like freely just do what it needs to do and just take out mons.
Yeah,
Or
that's how I liked using it in Series 8. You just put it next to the mon you're Dynamaxing, and either they deal with your Dynamax, or they deal with the Registeel that's just setting up.
Mhm.
And
yeah,
if
then
they
once
don't,
it's set up, it's
if
so
they don't
hard to
deal
kill.
with the Dynamax, then it's gonna do tons of damage.
Hmm.
And I don't see something that can like Dynamax and take advantage of this team. It really needs more Dynamax options.
Hmm.
Or like just general offensive options.
Hmm.
Things that
Yeah,
don't need setup or support.
yeah.
Um yeah, I feel like this is probably a D tier team.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't yeah. I think the trades ended up hurting the team more than helping.
Yeah, I
Is
think with the trades, it was without the trades. Sorry, it was definitely like C tier
mm-hmm.
because you had more to prep for, like more of the standard stuff that can either be really good or take off the heat of something else. Um, yeah,
Yeah, let's move on to the next team. The Hippowdon Hangover. So this team's got Dragapult Coalossal.
yeah,
They got Reuniclus, Conkeldurr, Escavalier, Quillfish, and then Thwackey, Laurentis, Centiskorch, Silvally. Oh yeah, and they got Fungus. There's like 3 grass types and 2 bug types on this team.
yeah. There's a lot of fire weakness, which maybe they want because maybe they want to bait out like Flash Fire and Centiskorch or Steam Engine on Coal.
Mm-hmm.
But my problem is there's too many like 4 times weakness with this team. They got Escavalier, Coalossal that's got 2 4 times weaknesses, and Centiskorch. And those 3 typings, or the typings that hit them super effectively, hit most of the team super effectively, except for Dragapult.
Mm-hmm.
Dragapult, Reuniclus, and Conk.
Yeah, I see that.
That's my problem with the team. I don't think it's very like, it doesn't have a very good defensive structure.
Yes, like what? 8 of the mon or 7 of the mons share weaknesses. Like
Yeah. But, you know, these mons are the good ones. Like Escavalier is a beast in Trick Room. Cole, if you let it get set up with the Surf from Dragapult, is obviously great.
mm-hmm.
And you know, Centiskorch is good as well. Like it's got white smoke to stop Intimidate and stuff.
Yeah, and Flash Fire is nice as well.
Yeah.
Like I think this team would be better if like it doesn't need Thwackey or Laurentis. it doesn't need those two. You can get something
Mhm.
else.
Yeah, I agree. Um,
The Trick Room on this team is really strong.
the Trick Room's really strong. I think any Trick Room with Fungus is already good, but you got a Scavalier. Like I said, that's really good. Reuniclus hits really hard. Yeah, they've got some like they've got like a really nice Trick Room set, which is just really good. But outside of that, I'm not sure. Like it's quite frail in a way.
Yeah, I'd get rid of Thwackey and Laurentis for like a flying type on this team. And
Oh yeah, there's no flying type.
like you need a flying type if you're gonna run Colossal. It's just really nice. Yeah, Fungus is the only grass type you need on this team. And yeah, I think the team would be a lot stronger. It would be a lot scarier.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested in what you think about Silvally, because from what you had it last season, and from what I remember, is that it doesn't hit very hard if it isn't a normal type using a different item. That isn't like a memory.
No, it doesn't. Like,
And when it maxes, the multi-attack moves actually loses power.
Yeah, so if you're maxing, you have to use the normal type. Otherwise, it's just gonna be weak. Also, I feel like in draft, Silvally only works if your opponent has a big weakness. And not because like Silvally is good or that good. It's more so that your opponent's team has a big weakness that Silvally can exploit. But if your opponent's team is like well constructed, then Silvally can't really do much. I'd say this can be a really good team, but it's just it needs like a couple trades to get there.
Yeah. I think for me this is a B tier because it's got like good modes in, like it's got a good Trick Room.
Yeah, this is like a mid or low B tier.
Yeah.
It needs to get rid of like the common weaknesses and then it'd probably be like A tier easily. Because Dragapult Cull is super good and it's hard to prep for the fast mode and the slow mode of it.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah. And you get like a pretty good Trick Room setup with like Fungus Reuniclus.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the Mons in Trick Room just do a lot of damage. They can easily take advantage of it. But
yeah, I agree.
But you want to make it harder for your opponents to prep, so you don't want to have a lot of common weaknesses.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's like a solid B tier.
Yeah, that's where I put it. Is there anything else you want to say about this team?
Not really. I guess Quillfish is cool.
Yeah, Quillfish is cool. Aquajet into Coal. I think it's another way to get Coal going. And the Intimidate is really nice. And it's quite bulky, especially for like a D tier 10-point Mon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
I think the core of this team is good. Like, it's not built off of something weak. It's just the like supporting cast that's slowing it down.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's all I had to say about this team. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, the next team is Julia's team, Baltimore Corviknights. And the first thing I see is that she's gotten G-Max Cinderace again. Like last season.
Yeah, she likes a chance. The nickname for Cinderace. And she uses it really well, to be fair. Like, was it Kill Leader in the last season? For the regular.
I think it was the Kill Leader. It was either that or the other Cinderace. Like, Cinderace is super good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One of the best draft mons. 11 different types. I think there's not much you can complain about it. Apart from it's 1 point slower than Inteleon. But like, I look at this team and it doesn't have a Trick Room. That's my biggest thing about it. Like, it's a good team really offensively. Like, you've got some really hard hitters like Diggersby, Priority Tailwind with Dracovish. You can run Choice Band and Strong Draw. You don't need the weak Sand Rush. And it's got good support in Herdia, which is just Stoutland, but without the offensive pressure. Then Aegislash and Gardevoir are always going to do a lot of damage when they need to. But yeah, there's just nothing for Trick Room.
Yeah, the only mon with Trick Room on the team is Espeon, and Espeon's 110 speed.
Yeah, and it's quite frail too, right? On the
it's pretty frail physically, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it can be faked out, so it can't imprison, recruit, or anything. So I think that's the only thing holding this team back, to be honest. It's just that it doesn't have an answer for Trick Room.
Yeah, even a mon with like Imprison Trick Room is good enough. But since Espeon doesn't get Imprisoned, it's not good enough. And I think Aegislash is the slowest mon, but it's also 60, so
yeah, like, it's still quite fast, right? So I don't know, maybe she's gonna have to think about a few trades, or just like bring Iron Ball to every matchup to get around some things. Another thing is that Earthquake's quite 3 in this team. The only resist is Talonflame because of its flying immunity.
Yeah.
The immunity because of its flying, but like ground moves, yeah, they can just go in on this team.
Yeah. And Max Quake is pretty common.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Yeah. Maybe not so much against this team because it's quite a physical team. A lot of these ones like to run physical sets rather than special sets, so maybe that puts them off. But because it's a really physical offensive team, it can also be nerfed by Intimidate really easily.
Yeah, there's no Defy It, there's no Inner Focus, there's nothing to stop Intimidate from coming.
Yeah.
Or even Charm or Baby Doll Eyes.
Maybe Chinchino gets one of the two, but Herdia gets Baby Doll Eyes.
Oh no, I mean against this team.
Against this team, yeah.
If you bring something to lower damage output, physical damage output, it can't do much.
Yeah. So you could maybe just expect some light herbs and stuff. A lot of these mons, or maybe she could also use the fabled special Cinderace some weeks.
Yep, but that's at the cost of a lot of damage output.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team hits really hard, but it's like manageable. It's not.
Yeah, it's just like super hyper offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's HO team that, and they work. Like mine worked in VBL, but at the end of the day, you just have to be able to get Trick Room up to take the pressure off and get that 1 foot in where you need to slow down their offense.
Yeah, and normally with hyper offense, you want some counter to fake out or Trick Room. Like Trick Room is usually a great answer to hyper offense, and this team doesn't really have that. I guess
No.
Talonflame gets quick guard, but other than that, it's not. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I get you.
You can get around this team's offense.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I don't think there's any like fake out users either. Maybe Diggersby gets it.
I don't think so. I can check.
So that just makes it even easier to get Trick Room up, right? Because
yeah,
you don't have to run something within a focus. You could run it with like Aroma Veil instead, or you can run Mental Herb and a different ability. Maybe like a redirector to stop the double up in the Trick Room setup.
Yeah, like you could probably just run Focus Sash on your Trick Room setter, and since they can't stop Fake Out or Follow Me, it's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely.
I think also the only spread move is Earthquake on Diggersby, and maybe Sludge Wave on Naganado.
Yeah, Toxtricity gets a lot, like Overdrive, Sludge Wave.
Toxicity, but
yeah.
But it's also Toxicity is also like kind of volatile. Like it can easily get taken out.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think this is also just another case of a lot of similar typings.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the same. Yeah, like you've got 3 normal types, 2 dragons, 2 poisons,
2 fire.
So again, like 2 fire. Yeah. Well, I didn't know whether to count Cinderace as fire, but I guess that's his primary typing. So it starts out the game like that.
I'd say it counts if you can outspeed Cinderace with the super effective attack, because it can't change its typing.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, it's I'm interested to see how Julia manages this team around these problems.
Yeah. So where would you rate this team?
Now I put it in C tier. Just because of the huge Trick Room problem that she has, and like the amount of coverage, defensive coverage she has in typings. It's I think it really weakens the team, and also having like no fake out to stop Trick Room that way, and really hurts the team as well. But she definitely has a good hyper offense team. If she gets it going, I think it can end games really quickly. But
yeah, I mean,
I think
that's just
too many ways to stop.
Hyper offense goes. You either snowball or get snowballed.
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably middle of C tier.
Yeah, I agree.
The next team is Chicago Cinderace. There's a lot of type variety on this team.
Yeah, I think 17 I got. Don't know if I miscounted one or double counted. So yeah, there's definitely a lot. I think they probably have the most out of all the teams.
I think it's 16. That's what I got.
16. Yeah, I probably double counted one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Dom's team. So he also had Cinderace last year. So I bet a lot of people are glad that there's only going to be one of each one. But he does have Incineroar as his S tier fire type instead, which I don't know. It's a controversial topic that we've had with a few people, but I don't rate Incineroar in draft, especially not for 50 points.
Yeah,
like,
it gets
A
outclassed.
lot of people say it's really.
It gets outclassed by other mons.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a good intimidator, and like buying shot is great, but I feel like in draft it's just too easy to prep for. Like, you bring the things that Intimidate doesn't work on, or you bring White Herb to like stop the parting shots as well, or the Snarls, whatever it does. And then people argue that it's versatile enough to be like a good weakness policy user. Like, you max it and you set off its weakness policy, but like it's just too slow before it does anything.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
It's too slow and not bulky enough to be offensive. Like, it's gonna get 2-hit KO'd as a maximum.
Yeah.
If you're running like offensive policy. And like its stab moves, like maxing it is not that much better than not maxing it, because it gets Flare Blitz and that's already like a super strong move. You don't need to max it. And Max Darkness it drops special defense, so it doesn't really work with Incineroar.
Yeah, it doesn't really help him, right?
And I feel like the effects from the regular moves it gets are better. Like, it gets Darkest Lariat and Throat Chop and Snarl. Like, you don't really want to max it because it gets really good moves that have nice secondary effects.
Yeah, it's definitely too useful out of max most of the time. And also I just think Torracat's better because it's that 30 points faster, so it gets its fake out more often than not.
Yeah.
Faster phasing with parting shot and stuff. With Eviolite it can be pretty bulky as well, like if not bulkier than Incineroar. So I just don't think it's a lot of value.
Yeah, it's not that Incineroar is bad, it's just not worth an S tier.
Like, maybe if it was A tier, I'd be like, okay, sure, like, it's maybe worth it now. But yeah, as S tier for me, it's not a thing. But yeah, anyway, do you got anything else to say about Incineroar?
No, just that it's better. It's just better without Dynamax than Dynamax. And it's too slow for draft. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's true. We're going from like a 0 value one to like arguably like one of the highest value ones, Fletchling. 10 points for automatic Tailwind. That's pretty good. It gets Will-O-Wisp and stuff too. And it can just support a lot of these ones. Like, you could use, like, I don't know, Zapdos can run a banded set and you can do a lot of damage before anything else. Or if you really want, like, offensive Sarina and Tailwind, like Tailwind can really help Sarina. especially with the Queenly Majesty. Like, it just guarantees Fletchling's going to get it unless they've got the big brain feint. Oh no, but yeah, no, of course.
Fate
It just
is also a
guarantees.
priority.
It just guarantees that Fletchling's going to get Trick Room.
Fletchling
Trick Room
gets
Tailwind.
taunt as well.
Yeah.
And Quick Guard.
Mhm. Yeah, I think. I think Fletchling Sarin is going to do a lot for Dom.
Oh, yo, it gets Defog. Like, the terrain counter right there.
Yeah. Defog's a flying type bit, right?
Yeah.
It's not normal. Yeah, it's flying. Yeah, it's so good. I can't believe I've never seen that before. Defog talent playing with Legenda.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see it this season.
We'll see it this season. We'll just give Dom that heat.
Yep.
But yeah, and then another fast move they have, which I find interesting, is the hail. Like, I don't know, you don't see hail being like hail's like trashed upon pretty harshly as like the worst weather. And I think it is as well, but I think it's like it's still like demands respect. Like Officious Ren from Artavish is still gonna do a lot.
Yeah.
Like Matrix made it work last season.
I think the really nice thing about this Hail core is that it's only 30 and 20 points. Like, just for 2 picks, you've already made your opponent like have to think about a whole new mode and how to avoid getting like Blizzard spam and Vicious Ren spam.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a really good like I don't know the right word. I'm thinking of like distraction, but it's just a nice like way to thin out your opponent's resources, having to deal with all this stuff.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of the stuff like tech like that as well. Like you have to think about Nihilego by itself with Meteor Beam. How you're going to deal with Moshana as like one of the bulkiest Trick Room setters. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that you need to consider.
Yep. I think Guzzlord is a pretty cool pick.
Yeah, Guzzlord's nice. I like Guzzlord.
Yeah, and you've got Nihilego for fairy types, so it kind of works. I don't really like. Well, I like Scizor as a mon, but I don't think it's worth 30 points.
Like you just put Heat Wave on it, on a mon.
Yeah.
And you deal with it, and that also helps with the Ninetales as well. And the Starina. So yeah, they are kind of weak to fire types. But I guess the Activish deals with it with the Vicious Rend.
Yeah. But maybe like Sun gives them a problem because Vicious Rend gets weakened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I'd probably trade out Scizor for something else.
And Activish isn't the fastest mon, right? Even in hand.
Yeah, that's true.
So it can still be quite easy to outspeed.
I think Scizor would work on a rain team. If you had like Politoed or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hail's it doesn't work with this team. I don't think you have I don't think you have like a manual weather setter either.
Definitely not for Prankster. Do you mean like to set Hail manually?
I mean like Rain Dance, but
oh, Rain Dance?
I guess max Arctivish. Max Geyser. But yeah, I feel like the only thing on this team Scissor's going to do is probably like Banded Bullet Punch or something, or Focus Sash. It's gonna have to run
Yeah.
Sash or Band. Zapdos is an interesting pick, but I don't think you bring Intimidate against this team, so it might not get Defiant off.
I don't know. I think Intimidate's pretty good against this team because you want to like nerf Activation, you want to nerf Sarina,
Yeah, but
and Scissor. But
the thing with Serena and Scizor is that they're kind of slow, so you might not need to intimidate them anyways.
Yeah, you could just bring Charm or something and save the chance for Defiant to go off.
Like the two the two fastest runs on the team are special, so Intimidate is probably not going to come anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe for Arctivish, but I don't know. There's ways to get around, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Hail aside from or there's ways to get around it aside from intimidating.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Hypercuda here for Trapinch because we were talking about Intimidate. But I like the Trapinch. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Trapinch is good value.
Yeah, like it's got a base attack of 100, which is crazy for that one. And with Arena Trap, it can just like punish like bad leads. They can just switch it in.
Yeah.
And then they can't get out. It gets like stuff like First Impression. So you can hit hard before the opponent and do some damage before it probably inevitably dies. I don't think it's defensive.
It also gets Sheer Force and like it gets Crunch and Body Slam.
Yeah, it could definitely do some damage.
But yeah, the cheap like Arena Trap is really nice. Especially if you get like a good lead with the, like say you lead Ninetales and Arctivish, and you just switch in Trapinch and you have Hail set up.
Yeah, and you can just start like vicious rending things.
I like Guzzlord. Wait, I think I already talked about Guzzlord, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think you said a lot about it.
But yeah, Guzzlord is really nice. It gets pretty good coverage, I think. It works in Trick Room, and it might work in Tailwind.
Yeah, 43 is pushing it.
But yeah, it can be physical or special, and it's just super bulky, like with that massive HP set, especially with Dynamax.
Yeah.
And its move pool is just insane. It gets almost every type, I think. Well, most of the types, so it can hit most things.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about this team is that they have 3 4x weaknesses. So it's Steel, Fairy, and Fire.
4, if you count Nihilego.
Oh yeah, Ground of course.
Yeah.
4x weaknesses. And just in those 4 types, like you hit all their mons super effectively.
Yeah, I think Steel and Ground are super common as specs moves. Like they're gonna be there every single game.
Yeah.
Cause like those max moves are just super good. Yeah. The Fairy weakness is like sort of there. You only have 1 resist with Nihilego. I guess you have Scizor too, but Scizor is also another 4x weak mon, so
yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, it's not all the mons. I said all the mons are weak to those 4 types, but like a lot of the main attacking mons are. So your offense is is already kind of neutered by the
Mm-hmm.
glaring 4x weaknesses,
Yeah,
which isn't great.
I think it'll just be tough for this team, like positioning around super effective moves.
Hmm.
But yeah, it can get a lot of damage out. It just needs to watch out for those weaknesses. What do you think?
I'm thinking high beat it because they got a good range in the speeds.
Mm-hmm.
They've got good offense, good there is bulk there. But yeah, I think they're just even though they have a lot of types, the way they're made up is still it's quite easily countered by a few offensive moves,
Mm-hmm.
type. And even though they do have some bulk, I think their bulky mons are the ones that are 4x weak to things
Mm-hmm.
like Guzzlord and Scizor. And also their fast mode can't really be taken advantage of by that many mons because they're so naturally slow anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If you ignore Zapdos, Nihilego, and Ninetales, Sarina's the fastest mon. And Sarina's not a fast mon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this team will be relying a lot on Fletchling then.
Yeah, I think Fletchling and Musharna are going to be the backbone of the team. They're going on what offensive mode you want. Yeah, I think they're going to be coming most weeks.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I don't know. What do you think?
I think this is like a mid-low B tier.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some good stuff, but it's got clear weaknesses that can be exploited.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's gonna be relying a lot on the two mons that its only form of speed control.
Yeah.
So I put this in I put in second to last B tier.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's far away from an A for me. I think he just needs to maybe get rid of Scizor for something else that maybe protects the rest of the mons the defensively, and also just maybe something that's a bit faster, it's hitting the 80-90 base speed, where Tailwind's actually really good for it rather than just good.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like it requires at least 2 or 3 trades to make better. So I don't think it's A tier for me, or close to A tier.
Yeah. Okay. No, I understand where you're coming from.
Also, I noticed that most of this team is weak to fighting or neutral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's not many resists, just Zapdos and
Nihilego's defense is super bad, so
yeah, it's real bad.
it's pretty much super effective to any physical attack.
Yeah, and also okay, Trapinch has got a base speed of 10, but I don't really think it's going to be a Dynamax Trick Room threat, because of its lack of bulk. So the next mon that's going to be a threat in Trick Room is the Lord, and it's kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
With 43 base speed, it's kind of slow for Trick Room. So
well, there's Musharna, but I guess Musharna's offense is really bad.
Yeah, and it's going to be setting the Trick Room, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be taking damage if it's setting Trick Room. You don't really want to max it.
Yeah, exactly.
And its
So, yeah.
offense is horrendous.
Yeah, so maybe get me like, yeah, it definitely needs like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 trades to flesh out this like these bad speed tiers between 50 and 65.
Mm-hmm.
To like make the trick room mode better, or the tailwind mode better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree with the mid-B tier actually.
All right, you want to move on to the next team?
Yes.
It's the South Texas Slowpokes, and the logo's still not finished yet, so
Slacking. I tell you what, I like this team. I'm glad you finally got Celesteela, like 3rd time lucky. Especially after you got like the 16th pick and you're like, oh, I'm definitely not getting Celesteela.
And I can't believe nobody picks it.
Yeah, it's probably...
It usually goes in like the first 5 picks.
Yeah, it's definitely top 3 picks for draft. Like, he just does everything. Physical, check. Special, check. Defensive support, check. Defensive stall, check. Christ, even offensive stall, we could probably pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, it gets Leech Seed and Iron Defense, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great mon to build a team around. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Because it can do everything, it's so easy to build a team
and
around
then
it.
It gets Max Airstream and Beast Boost. Like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's...
It doesn't even need Beast Boost to be that good, but then it just gets it, and it's like, oh, it can also snowball.
Yeah. And I remember, like, last season, in my first week, I had Chandler and Arcanine, and I needed to bring them both to deal with it. Like, it's just such a pain.
I think it was also Specs Chandler, right? With Overheat?
Yeah. Spec Chandler, and I think with Assault Vest, it still survived at Wild Max. And it's like, like why are you like this? Why are you like this, Celesteela?
Yeah, and I will say that team didn't have Garchomp, so...
Yeah, and then this team's got Garchomp, like, one of the best ground types. Like, okay, it's got the same problem as Lando, in that it's 4 times weak to ice, but it's faster, and I think it's maybe bulkier too.
It's way bulkier. Like,
it's way bulkier.
I mean, if you watched like some of my games from last season, it was taking Max Hailstorms like nothing.
Yeah, it really was. It was like crazy.
I think in the finals, it took like 60% from Metagross Max Hailstorm.
Yeah, it's stupid one, and I can't wait to bury it in week 8.
Yeah, that's what you think right now.
That's what I think right now. Another one that I can't wait to get a taste of is the Slowking. Like, obviously it's the Slowpoke that's evolved, but I don't know. I think Slowking's not as good as a Slowpoke. It's definitely not as much value.
You don't think so?
And things, I don't know if it's just because I've got a special hatred for Slowpoke at the minute, or
yeah, now it's better. It's like new and improved.
No, okay, so let's look serious. But it's more offensive, right? It's going to hit harder.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to use Whirlpool, but it loses the bulk that Eviolite brings, because you don't need to run Mental Herb on it because of own tempo, so it's not going to get taunted. So you're not worrying about that.
I mean, do you think it loses the bulk? Because
it definitely loses some physical bulk. Maybe not on the special side, but in physical terms, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's just my formal opinion. we'll see when we prep together, and
I think
I
what
think
it makes up for
and,
in special bulk, it's worth it.
hmm
Like it goes from 40 to 110, and that's
yeah.
you can definitely just go all in on defense EVs. So
hmm Yeah, I
yeah.
see you. Yeah, I guess there's that. But I used Slowking last season for a few weeks, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was really annoying to play against because it just gets so many random moves. Like why does it get flamethrower?
Because it comes from Gen 1. Well, not Gen 1, but Slowpoke comes from Gen 1. So Slowbro learns them, so I can't Slowking.
But yeah, it wasn't gonna be my original pick. I did get sniped on the Snorlax.
Yeah, you're after that Snorlax, right?
Yeah, but
Um,
I guess a Slowking kind of has the same role as Snorlax.
mhm.
Special Wall and Trick Room. And it resists fire and ice just like Snorlax.
Mhm. Yeah, it's a nice mon. You can set up Trick Room easily. Like, it's pretty good. But another mon that can set up Trick Room really easily is is a Great British Blastoise veteran. Is Aromatisse. This mon is so good. Like, I can't describe how good this mon is. It gets so many support moves. It is one of the slower Trick Room setters. Like his base speed's 29. There's not many things that are slower than it.
I think it's the slowest thing that gets after you.
Yeah, and I was just about to go on to it. After you is just so good. Like it just lets Garchomp run havoc in Trick Room, or Celesteela. Celesteela is quite fast for Trick Room. And you get stuff like aromatherapy. Like if you're playing someone that likes to burn things or sleep things, it gets heal pulse. It just gets so many moves like screens.
It gets what is that move that like raises special defense?
Oh, aromatic mist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another great move. Especially like because you're so bulky already anyway. So like just multiplying your bulk by 1.5 is nuts. And the other thing is that it can't be taunted. There's a Aroma Veil. Then one last thing is that it's surprisingly like offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like its special attacks in 19.9, I think. So the Moonblasts are going to be chunking pretty well. And if it's super effective and it's not maxed, it usually takes like 60% at least.
It gets good coverage too, like.
It does.
It's like
I actually.
It gets Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt. Like that's good enough for a Trick Room setter.
Yeah, it really is. And they'll all come into use one week or the other. And even like its physical side is pretty okay too. Like I've used Gyro Ball on Aromatisse before to some success.
Really?
Yeah, to be fair, it was against a Fairy Gym in the Helix Challenge, but like it was still pretty cool just to see it do that much damage.
It gets Drain Punch, beat those Steel types.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I've said enough about this one. Yeah. What else? Cotton's good. Like pseudo Whimsicott. It doesn't do much different apart from it cotton spores instead of tailwinds.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's there to set priority weather. Maybe like worry seed some things if an ability is going to be a problem on the opposite team.
Mm-hmm.
Togstroke's cool. Poison Touch is really nice because all of its like moves are going to use a contact, like Fake Out, Feint, like Drain Punch, whatever. And it gets coaching as well, I think. So, like again, you're just buffing like you're already an almost bulk on Celesteela, Garchomp, even Suicune. And yeah, I think it's a great value for tier 4. 20 points for all that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Scraggy's nice. You got the Intimidate, the value Intimidate user, but it's also got Fake Out.
Yeah, Scraggy in D tier is crazy. I thought it'd be in C tier.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff foul play just does bits.
But like its defense, like you'd expect its defenses to be bad for a not fully evolved one, but they're 70, and with Eviolite it goes to like 105.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty good. Like,
oh yeah, definitely is. What else? What else do I like in your team? Suicune's good. I know you were battling between Suicune and Milotic. I see both sides of both of them, but Suicune's just got that like tailwind if you really need it.
yes,
I chose. Focus, you can't be faked out.
What were you saying? Sorry.
I was just saying, within a focus, like you're gonna get that tailwind off probably.
Yeah, you can run Mental Herb or Focus Sash depending on what you need.
Mm-hmm.
I chose Suicune because it gets more support than Milotic.
Mm-hmm.
It gets like Snarl, and it gets Icy Winds and Roar and Scald Burns.
Yeah, it's just that little bit faster as well to get those Icy Winds off.
Yeah, just to debuff the opponent. Like, the speed matters.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it gets Reflect too.
Yeah, it probably does. I'm not sorry. Like it does so much already. Like Reflects just.
And then you can always run it with like Combined Leftovers.
Yeah, the toxic set.
Yeah. The singles set.
Stalling VGC.
Yeah, maybe 1 week I'll bring like a full stall team.
You actually could. Just bring OU stall, like Steeler, Garchomp with Rocky Helmet.
Sulking.
Slowking, yeah. Although Matisse just heal pulsing everything. Blech. Making me ill just thinking about it. Let's move on from that. So Leafeon, let's get a bit more offense. Leafeon's nice. Like Leafeon, I'm not sure what it's going to do for you. I guess it gets access to like some nice support moves in Baby Doll Eyes, Charm.
Yeah, that's honestly the only reason I chose it.
You can maybe do something with like Cottony, but then you've got 2 fire weaknesses in Sun. If you set Sunny Day with Cottony next to Leafeon, so I don't know about that.
I was mainly thinking, I mainly got it because of Baby Doll Eyes, and it's a nice physical wall. Like, it's got good physical defense. And maybe like if I end up maxing Rotom, it could come in the back, deal with water types with the like max flare Sun.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, it's just an extra option for you to have, which I guess that's what the 10-point ones are there for, really. Another one's like Lycanroc, and the 10-point one is Lycanroc. Which is Lycanroc's good.
Yeah, there's so many Lycanrocs in the Champions Tour. It was super annoying to prep against.
Yeah, like all kinds, right?
Yeah.
But just the Cell Rock by itself is really nice. And I don't know. His abilities aren't great. Like Sandrush is probably the best of them. But you don't have a Sandsetta, so I guess it's just there to be.
It's just there
like,
for
little rock coverage.
It gets good coverage aside from rock. Like, it gets close combat, right?
Yeah.
Play rough. Like, it's just the D tier that throws out damage. It's good enough. It gets stuff like Taunt and Leer, Quick Guard.
And it's even stuff like it's one of those, like, you could even just like have it on the field and your opponent might be like, oh, it's just like, I'm just going to leave it. then
it gets roar too.
focus on.
So,
Oh, it's a phasing. Yeah, that's really nice.
but yeah,
Uh,
if the opponent ignores it, it can like swords dance and do damage.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It is on the field. People just ignore it because you've got Garchomp that's maxed in your face, and it's not something you can ignore. Like a Noxious, nice to have that just set up next to it. And then Rotom Heat is a great one, obviously. Again, it can just do so much, either support or offense. Like, it's another one that can just nasty plot up, or can run Life Orb or something, or Policy. Because you could Accelerock into it, I guess, as well, if you really wanted to.
You know, I didn't think of that. Thanks for the idea.
It's alright, you can have that. So it's just, yeah, I like it. I think it really rounds off.
It's a good
really rounds
support
off your
too.
team.
Like,
Mhm.
it gets Will-O-Wisp and Eerie Impulse and Ally Switch,
Yeah,
and I can also just do stuff like Scarf Discharge with Garchomp, get those paras.
yeah, Disquake. So now that I've given it loads of compliments, I'm trying to think of where it's going to be a bit of a bit of a down, like where you might like lose out.
I think.
And
Well, I think the biggest weakness of the team is I've like got a flying weakness with my lower tier mons.
yeah, but then you make up for it in the Celesteela and the Rotom Heat, and like even Garchomp's bulky enough. I feel like where you're weak is your speed. Like, you're not the fastest team. It's a bit like mine. You're not the fastest team, but you're bulky.
Hmm.
And you have the Tailwind option, like I do too. But you can just like run Trick Room, and then you've got two of the best Trick Room users. That can't be taunted, and they can both work in Trick Room as offensive threats as well. You do have a lot of 4x weaknesses. But again, most of them are just like your lower tier ones, like Garchomp, Toxicroak, Scraggy, Cottony. I was going to say Rotom Heat, but it's got Levitate, so not Rotom Heat. So like a lot of those ones could maybe be dealt with quite easily, like relatively easy, and then it leaves holes in your team. But it's nice that your 4x weaknesses are just for those mons. Like, take Scraggy's 4x weakness is Fairy. The only other thing that's weak against Fairy is Garchomp, and then again it's only a 2x weakness, and in Garchomp's bulk it can eat it pretty well.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And the same for like Toxicroak with its Psychic 4x weakness. I don't think you have another weakness to Psychic. No. So it's really nice that way. Like your 4x weaknesses work, and that most of them that aren't really like important.
Yeah, I think my biggest type weakness is gonna be flying, but I've like 2 of my top 4 mons are resistant to flying, so the top tiers kind of cover for the bottom tier weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm kind of scared for week 8. I think this is a better team than you had last season, and
I think this is a much better team than the one I drafted last season, or even ended up with.
Yeah, I'll have to go like Super Saiyan in week 8 against this team. So for me, I think this is the best team in the division.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't. It wasn't. I'll go back to Mismag's team. I think Mismag's team was the strongest before the trades, but he made the trades, so.
Yeah, I really also like this team because it's gonna let me have a lot more creativity than my last season's team.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, your team wasn't stagnant, but like you were definitely like recycling towards the end. And I think in this team, like you said, you've got so many options.
Although maybe that was because I kept playing the same team over and over again at the end. All those Spectre Metagross teams.
Yeah, it was kind of like copy paste teams, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
different Lycan rocks.
And then there'd be like Pikachu or Raichu, one of those.
Yeah, this team's crazy. And I look forward to making trades to make it weaker.
Is that what you think is gonna happen? You know, I was thinking about like asking Casey for the Snorlax, but like now I'm attached to the Slowking. Like,
yeah, I think Slowking's nice.
It works kind of as a mascot for my team, and it just fits. I like it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I prefer Slowking. I think a normal type doesn't do much for your team. Like, it gives you another fighting weakness. Which isn't really a problem for your team, but it's not. I think Slowking's better. Like, you've got enough like fighting dark types to deal with Ghost and other darks. Yeah. Nice team. Yeah, so it's gone to the top of the board for me.
Well,
S+.
That's good to know. I'm not gonna rate my own team right now.
No, I get it, of course.
But I know how good it is, so.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm just like inflating your ego so that you get cocky.
Oh yeah.
And then you don't prep.
I've already prepped for you. I'm already prepping for you. I got some strats.
Oh, is that right? That's right.
It's the most important game of the season, so.
Yeah, it definitely is. I've got some ideas. I thought about it today.
I don't care if I don't make playoffs as long as I beat you. That's all that matters.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
Interesting.
Let's go to the last team.
Let's go to the last team.
Jordan Jigglypuffs.
Now this is the team that
this is the
drafted Regigigas.
Gigas, yeah.
Really late. Like, I was excited. I was like, oh cool, my first league where nobody's drafted Regigigas. Like,
yeah.
This is like, get the history books. And then of course it happened. And I was like, oh, we still got to deal with it. And like, of course you draft assuming someone is going to get Regigigas. Because if you don't have an answer to it, then it's just going to run through your team.
Yep. They also have Archeops with Gigas.
Yeah, Archeops is a nice 10-point pick to work with Wheezing as well. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I mean Wheezing.
Yeah, I get what you meant. But as far as like the rest of the team goes, past those three, like, okay, you have Urshifu. Urshifu is a good one. Like, but
I think Urshifu and Indeedee are nice.
But like, Indeedee your Trick Room setter.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the best Trick Room setter. And then your Trick Room one is Dragalge. And Dragalge's great, don't get me wrong, but like it doesn't have the best coverage in the world, and it's not the slowest mon in the world. Like 44 base speed is like still pretty fast.
This seems super weak to psychic moves, and you don't really want to set psychic terrain for like your own. Like there's like 4, 5, 6 mons weak to psychic moves. So
yeah, definitely, of course.
Yeah, I feel like setting psychic terrain for your opponent to use against you is probably not a great strat.
Another thing is as well is like all of these mons rely on their abilities, or having, apart from Regigigas and Archeops, of course. But like, just going from top to bottom, Indeedemail wants to set psychic terrain. Hitmontop probably wants to intimidate, or maybe use Technician. I don't know. Dragalge wants adaptability. Machamp wants to be able to hit things with Dynamic Punch, No Guard, or Guts. Polygeist, I guess.
If you turn off Guts, it's like, and you're burned. You're just burning yourself. Like,
yeah. And then the biggest one for me is Shedinja. Like, Shedinja's thing is literally its ability. And there's just a lot of anti-synergy with the Weezing in this team. So I feel like if you break the Regigigas, you've already won in a way, because whatever's in the back, if Weezing's on the field, then their abilities aren't in play, and this, that, and the other. Like, they're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So they really need to like.
I don't know if you said it, but Urshifu also wants its ability.
Yeah, I didn't say that. And Scolipede as well. Scolipede wants to go fast.
Yeah, like, the whole thing about Urshifu is its ability as well. Like, hitting through Protect and having Weezing out just nerfs it super hard.
So I don't know. Normally I go for like, when I play Regigigas, I try and knock out the Weezing, because then you've just got a Regigigas that's not doing anything. But against this team, I'd maybe go for knocking out their Regigigas, and then the Weezing's still affecting their side of the field. So their abilities and what they want to be able to do isn't happening as much.
Wait, this is like unrelated, but it says Urshifu's speed is 80, but it's actually 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a mistake on the doc.
That's a mistake.
But yeah, what you're saying is right. Like, if you can knock out the Gigas in like 1 or 2 turns, then the Weezing's doing more harm than help for the team.
And the rest of the team isn't that bulky, right? Like, Dragalge's especially bulky, but it's not so physically bulky. Hitmontop's bulky.
Like,
yeah. Like, they've all got one side that's a lot less bulky than the other. So it's just like, I guess, prepping for whatever they have.
I'd say Hitmontop's probably the bulkiest mon they have. And the rest kind of get one shot by moves. Like,
yeah.
Or any max move, honestly. There might also be like a Sash syndrome on this team. Like, a lot of the mons want Sash, but which, like, it's gonna be hard to give it, to choose one.
Yeah.
Like, Urshifu wants Sash, but so does Shedinja. And Indeedee might also want Sash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shedinja. I feel like Shedinja would be good if it was like, if the rest of the team wasn't so weak to flying moves. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of like
3 fighting types. and I think it works well as a partner for Gigas. I think it can work well,
Mm-hmm.
but it just doesn't
The
work
rest
with
of
the
the
rest
team.
of the team. Like Gigas is the threat on this team, and maybe Archeops, but the rest of the team is just not that threatening. Urshifu can do
Yeah.
damage, but yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of by itself.
yeah.
Yeah, the team is too much of a weak playing Dark and Ghost, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Also, this team's not super fast in terms of draft.
Yeah, like 110 for max speed. Oh, 112, sorry.
Yeah, but the 112 is Scolipede. It's not. I don't think it's gonna do anything special.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's like not that fast, but it also doesn't have slow Trick Room mons,
Mm-hmm.
and it only has one Trick Room sweeper or one Trick Room damage dealer, which are Yoli.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about this team. To make it better, I'd maybe get a more decent Trick Room setter than Indeedee Male.
Mm-hmm.
And another Trick Room sweeper.
I think like Slowbro is available. You could probably get that. And
Yeah, Slowbro would be very good.
maybe drop Urshifu
Mm-hmm.
or Hitmontop, one of those two, or Machamp. Like you don't need 3 fighting types.
Mm-hmm.
Like Machamp, I don't think you need Machamp. It does the same thing as Urshifu but worse.
Yeah. And that's the C tier, right? Tier 4. And there's like a lot of value in tier 4. Also Poltergeist. Like, I get there's the setup with Shadow Sneak from Shedinja, but you've got 2 ghost types out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if there's a dark type out, it just you'll just get a double KO.
Mm-hmm. Like you could even brutal swing, right? To knock out the Shedinja and weaken the Poltergeist.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for this team to stay alive. Like they all die in one shot, most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really need to run that many different moves on this team because they all have like the same weaknesses.
Similar weakness. Yeah. I think I'm not saying we should run the rule. Are we allowed to make trades before the break halfway through the regular season?
No.
Or is it all the trades? All the trades are done during that break.
I think all the trades are that week. The break week.
Yeah, I think if I was this team, I'd start thinking about like what trades I need to make during that break. And maybe I'd speak to somebody that's like been successful with Gigas before. And see how to build around that, especially the psychic terrain. Like, it's got the essence of what Camo used last season, and that team was formidable.
It just doesn't have anything to use psychic terrain.
Yeah, so like an Unburdened one would be good. I think Feeble's a good pick for this team.
I think Devil and Sceptile are available.
Yeah, I'd maybe consider one of those. But for now,
Devil more because no dark type on this team.
Yeah, and it really needs it for the Ninja, DD, Poltergeist, a lot of mons. Psychic for Dragalge, I guess.
Yeah, the main thing about Giga Squeezing is that you need like something else. You need some other thing that makes it like that can take advantage of your opponent prepping for Giga Squeezing, that your other mode can like come in and
Deal with.
sweep. Yeah, because your opponent has to lead for Giga Squeezing and the rest of your team. So if the rest of your team is lacking, then all they have to do is just prep for Giga Squeezing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, where would you put this team? For me, it's D.
I think
right
it's
now.
D tier. Yeah.
But I think with careful planning for like midweek break, it could definitely be alright. Like I think you just need to think about how to build like around the gigas, like you said.
Yeah. And
if terrain, use the terrain.
Yeah.
Mon.
There's a lot of good mons available, and it's like the core of the team's decent. It's just like a lot of the support mods and secondary modes need to like be better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the like B and C tier mods, and those can be traded.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Do you have any more thoughts like after ranking all the teams?
Just like these are our opinions, so don't like take what you found useful, but don't take it too seriously. Like you might have stuff planned that we didn't think for, and it could just put them in a whole new rank. Yeah.
Yeah, if we miss something about your team, then it's not like don't take it personally, because this is like a super long video and we're probably gonna miss some things.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think I hope you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Fearless movie.
the marathon. But yeah, if we rated you low, then prove us wrong, and if we rated you high, then
definitely.
prove us right. And
Yeah,
that's all we had to say.